Payday 3 this and Payday 3 that, it's always been very negative. Until recently. Ever since 1.1.4, Payday 3 has actually been getting a lot of attention recently. And I'm really glad about this. Payday 3 has always been a game with so much potential. Unfortunately, it missed the mark with that potential at launch. But ever since then, the devs have been hard at work to make sure that Payday 3 becomes the best it can be. And with this update, that changed the progression system, and that was the biggest, most major part of the update. It brought so much to the game that I don't think anybody thought would have been anything, honestly. So I just want to talk about how progression has changed Payday 3 from this game that people didn't want to play to a game that people are actually playing. So let's begin. Payday 3's progression system beforehand wasn't the greatest at all. It was really bad. Challenge-based progression was not the way to go for Payday 3. It made playing the game so much more tedious and frustrating because the challenges in play were just completely unfun to do. Challenges like playing a heist 10 or 100 times over. Some people want to just play heists without needing to worry about their infamy progression. So later down the line, they updated infamy progression a little bit to include things like all bags or stealth, which kind of helped, but it didn't really hit the mark of what we wanted from progression. It was still kind of a slog to make it through the game and its progression until recently with that update that has completely overhauled progression to get rid of challenges as a way to progress, and is now instead made it so that you can just play the game. You can just play the game and you gain infamy, which is one of the best things that could have happened because I feel like the game has become so much more fun. I was playing Payday 3 for a while. I held off on buying it on launch. But then, I'd say maybe 2 months later or so, I was just thinking about it and decided to buy Payday 3. And I don't regret that purchase. Payday 3 is a fun game. Its foundation is a fun game. It's just the decisions that were made on release and before release were just not for Payday 3. But it was still fun to play through the heists, and the gunplay is fun and fresh, and it's just an overall enjoyable game for the most part. But yes, things like progression, and especially the gun levels, that's annoying. I hope that they changed that, because I would rather be able to buy attachments immediately instead of having to progress my weapons level. But that's a topic for another day. The whole progression in general was just not the greatest until we got some pretty good progression in this update, which has changed the way you can play, because you can literally just play the game. And I know it sounds like I'm repeating myself, but I have to reiterate what this game has done with this progression and how it's so much better now, and how the game, literally people haven't played the game because the progression was a slog to get through. But now that you can progress pretty well, I was at level like 96 or something, and I got up to 100 within 3 heists, maybe even 2. That's a lot of infamy between 2 heists. Normally it would take maybe 6 or so heists to get, depending on which heist you play as well. It could take you a while to progress even 1 level. But now, progression is just so quick and so easy and so just fun to do. I originally thought the game became way more fun when they added quick play, because it wasn't a matter of, which heist do I play? It was, alright, let's just play the game. It's gonna give me a random heist with random people. And that became way more fun for me. Like, Payday 3 was starting to lose a little bit of its steam for me, but then quick play was added, and then I got back into it immediately. And then, now that the infamy progression is fixed, there are way more people playing. The numbers are in the thousands, which is huge for Payday 3. So, this update, originally it was quick play that started bringing some people back in, or at least it felt like it, because you would get into heists with others, which was nice. But this infamy progression, it changed the way that people perceive the game, and I'm super, super glad that people are finally giving Payday 3 a chance, because it definitely deserves it. It has the basis for an amazing game, but it just missed the mark on quite a few things. But now, once Boys in Blue come out, once Offline is out, once all these changes that we're getting and these content drops, we start getting those, Payday 3 is gonna become, and I believe it especially now more than ever, one of the best games in the franchise. Obviously, it's not gonna be able to beat Payday 2's just ginormous just platform that it has, but Payday 3 is such an amazing successor to Payday 2. It's just that success and amazement is just hidden behind a bunch of changes that need to come out before Payday 3 can truly become the spiritual successor, the spirit in spiritual successor of Payday 2. And that's why I wanted to make this video, just to kind of talk a little bit about what my thoughts are on the current state of Payday 3, and just how much this game truly is going in a right direction. People are concerned for the future of Payday 3 because they feel no matter what Starbreeze/Overkill does, it's not going to be able to bring the game back into a state that it was before release, a state of hype and people wanting to actually play it. But ever since this update, I truly believe that this game still has so much hidden potential. I mean, the numbers speak for themselves. I learned last night that there are 9,000 concurrent players across all platforms, which once again is a huge number for Payday 3. And it's amazing that even 900 people are playing Payday 3. Obviously, it's not as high as other games, but that is not at all what matters at this point. Payday 3 cannot be compared to any other game in numbers because it's its own thing right now. Payday 3 is in its own state with its own players. So 9,000 is a lot of people. And I hope that with every update and every DLC that number continues to grow and Payday 3 just becomes a behemoth just like Payday 2. It's all in due time. It's only a matter of time. But I truly believe Payday 3 will become something special. In a few months, in a few years, who knows? But it will become something special. So thank you for listening to me ramble for 10 minutes. And if you haven't already, I would say now more than ever, please try Payday 3. Give it a shot. With the new progression, if that's why you were holding off, it's here now. Old progression is gone, new progression is in, and it's amazing. Especially with quick play, you're gonna start leveling up pretty quickly. So once again, thanks for listening, and have a great day.